Welcome on back into Valorant Challengers. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to quarterfinals. All of the teams that you guys are going to be watching today are going to be the teams already moved on into the close qualifiers, and now they have a whole lot of experimentation and a whole lot of frags to show here on our screens. NRG and Gen G, they're playing first right here on the mainstream.
Let's take a quick look at the maps we've got for us today. Vine, we will be kicking it off. That's the map pick of Gen G. Haven for NRG, and Icebox being our final map. Now, this map pool, it is the best case scenario, I feel like, for both teams.
Sean's still on the front lines, and he still has a whole lot of players from NRG still trying to flank on him, and indeed it happens. Sam and Shanks both with openings, and Shanks still looking out towards the back line with two actually wanting to approach the back spawn area. EU, what on earth? Let's go beaming through the smoke with a knife, but not gonna get anything out of it to really make that rotation as long as possible. And not only that, but they still have one player over towards that A side if another teleport does go on. Shanks is here on the rotation. Same thing with that Sage teammate that put up the wall. Now they just wait out for the approach. Shanks does get one back. Even then, Michael from up top with a couple of right clicks has to go big on two. Gets the headshot, but just doesn't have enough bullets to get another one into Daps. Daps wins it out in the end, and that one was looking a little bit tricky in the end, but NRG had full control in a scrappy round.
And Gen G are just hoping to catch somebody off guard, but nothing is being given to them. Full control towards Showers. And right now, the B site, at least in the minds of NRG, this is the only site that makes sense to take. And here they come, Gen G. Early on, it's again Sean the double blast back. Sam to hold it down. He's got three. And finally a trade back, but it's a little bit labored.
Really, it doesn't mean all too much. Kusta still left over towards the mid side. And the paranoia. Ooh. Oh my. Oh, that's wonderful.
One of the most critical positions on this retake, but even then, he realizes the tricky predicament he's in. Tripwire to watch the flank. There's Sean Showstopper. There's a TP into Heaven. Now, this is a free kill for Daps. That's going to come massive into this retake.
Sure is, but even then, Shanks still coming in with Michael and multiple people over towards the short area. Win in a beautiful position, but it's super off angle with Kusta actually looking over. Double from Kusta. Now both players from NRG, both isolated, but they have the angles. Kusta was already revealed a little bit early on. EU, good spot. Sean 1v2. This is where he thrives, but he needs to get this one onto Infinite to make it count, but it won't happen. NRG, it was hard fought. Gen G, what a takeover towards that A site in the first place, actually winning out the 1v1 duels.
With Shanks and then EU up top, right outside, this could be a very nasty surprise for Gen G if they're not prepared.
No, this is just an insane cross, but there you go. They were ready for it. That paranoia barely connects, but even then, Shank and Sam holding down the line. Kusta with one back, and still Sam in a very tricky position, but has Daps here on the crossfire, ready with him and ready to go. 17 HP, but still a revival up for Win and GMD. He goes to Satchel, and Sam able to get himself two. Easy peasy stuff. Michael now in a 1v2, gonna get hard shocked by Daps and NRG with a 7-1 scoreline. Like you mentioned, Sully, Gen G, they weren't ready for the smoke. They're doing actually a really good job at just predicting where Gen G will go. I mean, last round, of course, they had a little bit more hard stuck of an A take, and now this time it's three players, and Sam this time, he's still fragging out on his own, getting two easy ones, and once again, it's going to be NRG holding W over towards B main and trying to get themselves kills. EU takes down Michael. There's one just chilling, and Teleporter, and oh boy. Wayne literally had zero chance. Are you kidding me?
Him and Shanks have been incredible in the 9 rounds that we've seen so far. And I mean, NRG, what more can we say? They are just able to take these duels. They are so confident right now. Ready for the flank. Ooh. Are they prepared? They're about to walk into each other. EU with his back turn. This is an easy kill, but they will be aware of the flank now. 4 versus 4 and a showstopper that Sam ends up shutting down. 10 seconds left in the spike. It's barely made its way to the site, and Shanks has just won them the round. 4 kills on the Bladestorm, and NRG have double digits.
Sam taking away all this attention, all of this pressure, all of the players from NRG just staying away from that teleporter area, staying away from bathroom, just so they could get the first contact on A. Sam is not only going to get a first contact and a first pick, but also going to bait out a whole lot of util that is so successful for Sam. And not only that, but Gen G, down a man, have to make this full retake.
Slow war baited, wall baited, paranoia baited. How do they even go about this? There are no flashes left here for Gen G, and a whole lot of players grouped up up in U-Haul. Psalm with this lurk, Psalm with this late rotation, and the wall is up. Everyone's got their backs turned to him, and Psalm had a firing range. He fires downrange and is only able to get one, but there's not much you can do here if you're Gen G. They are bringing it back. 2 versus 2, a wide swing from 1, and it is going to be Quinn to take the round, but is there time? It's going to be so close, and there isn't. 2 seconds. And the wall is what saves them. Huge engagements, and everybody goes down, but NRG pick up the round.
I mean, you're absolutely right. I should be really trying to get more coffee at this point, but yeah, it is what it is, though, ladies and gentlemen. You do have a deep teleport coming in, but GMD still in the back line over towards Cubby, gonna be able to get one. Now it's down to a 3-on-3 as Kusta's actually opening this one up. Still one over towards the back line. Good reaction. And Gen G now still has more control, still has the man advantage, but Kusta's ready. NRG, they still have Psalm ready and raring to go. Infinite getting revived. This turn from a man disadvantage to a man advantage from NRG in an instant. But Win with the operator, anything is possible. Gaps are up, waiting for players to rotate on out. Not only that, but a slow orb to cut off the rotation back. So now both of these players just stuck on the front lines, and Michael finds a gap in the wall, finds a headshot, but Psalm, what on earth? What can he even pull off with this showstopper? It's just mal-timed. He can't get anything from it. He has to depend on the Phantom, depending on the players going in, and the wall going in. Very impromptu from Win, but Psalm takes him down. Now looking for a fourth to shut this all down. Spike is right in front of him. Psalm is the one with all the control in the world. In goes the wide swing, and Psalm shuts it down. Michael, he tried to pull the underhanded tactic, but couldn't get anything of the sort. Instead now, NRG, they find themselves a 12th from the clutch of Psalm. NRG, they have all the bodies on the front of sight. Shanks has been so successful in these sorts of situations, but he's not going to be able to find anything. Instead now, Kusta with the ulti, gonna be able to find all that information, but still NRG with full control of this site. Except for U-Haul, however, there's one player really just ready and raring to go, and it's none other than Sean, but Psalm comes back with nobody watching the back line. 3v3 now.
They need to get U-Haul control. I think that's the only place they can get a possible revive, but Infinite investing a Trailblazer. Psalm, a blast back to keep them away. Everything on the line here in map number 1 is Gen G. They are trying to retake U-Haul, but they're getting nothing. They're shut down by Psalm and Infinite. 2 frags between the both of them. And GMD, it's his birthday, and he needs a present. He needs a clutch, and he's got one, but the second avails him. EU closes things out, and NRG take the first map 13-8.
And we're about to get started in map number 2 between Gen G and NRG. Folks, we are seeing most of Gen G this early on, mostly stacked around the C site with 3 players, actually 4 players, for NRG ready to go on a fast rotate.
Yeah, they do have a retake cam set up in Gen G, fast pace. That's the tempo you want. Let Sean do his thing. Let him find kills, and let Psalm maybe explode in as well. Frenzy to their faces. It's the dynamic duo, the deadly duo of Shanks and Psalm. Silence in the works, and they take the kills for themselves. Nothing that you can do if you're Gen G right now. 4 versus 1, and it is a sweep from NRG on the retake. That is fast, and that is deadly. Early info for EU out towards A. There's no longer a retake setup. They just have the trips in case he needed to fall back, but now I guess it's a retake setup. However, C site heavily contested. Shanks in the back. He has 3 smokes to play with and a whole lot of frag potential. Sees the arm sticking out, and that's all he needs for 2, and that's all he needs for 3. Shanks has lit up the server, lit up the kill feed with blue, and NRG have taken a 5th. The holder of A and how good he is with his utility and how good he is in these clutches. Now Quinn is looking for these rotations. He's trying to cause a ruckus, but no one on NRG is biting. They've got a trip as well to cover their flank, so they don't need to worry about that. But this retake, there's the run it back, and Psalm gets aggressive. He's been full blinded, but so is everyone else. Infinite with 1. There were the trades back, and exactly what they needed as Michael holds it down. 15 seconds left though, and you caught off guard, but it's Psalm. The run it back is what he needed, and he's been sent back into the site as Quinn goes for a hero play, but NRG hold it down, and the ults come to fruition. A 4th on the board, and Gen G, the time off did nothing to help them in that one. Even then, that's not going to give them a lot of info. Daps with the TP. looking for something. Only finds a couple of bullets, but that's just enough. Gen G slowed down with 50 seconds left to regroup back to this site. And Shanks, all he needed was a right click to take down Kusta. And while they were thinking of A, they were probably double guessing themselves, but this TP is going to draw everything away here for NRG and GMD. Goodness me, what a dink onto him.
Yeah, no, there you go. But Shanks was already in the back lines of A. So GMD just gets exposed. Now Daps, the leader, he gets one back with a slick kill, but Sean makes one even better. Hard taps already in the round, and there you go, Michael. You're definitely not expecting anyone in Garage. It's gonna come down to none other than Shanks now in the 1v2. 2 more players remaining out from around the corner. And my Shanks! The power of the right clicks! It's Mr. Fourth Quarter himself. He's still clutch, and from downtown, he nails down Gen G in what was their biggest opportunity to get some momentum back in this game, to get some life. And Shanks, what a play! You looking for the lineup, and almost everyone from NRG is over towards that short area. Gen G, they've already taken on all this pressure over towards long 2, and not only that, but 3 around sight. So now Gen G, they almost seem ready and raring to go, but look at that shock dart again. Yet another lineup coming in for Michael. EU's still fighting over towards long. That's the 1-2 combo again, this time using a shock dart into the ghost. Spike is still down for NRG. Michael now around the corner as Shanks, the paranoia, the near sight, it goes out right on time. Still Kusta with one back. Huge smoke. They could cover up Kusta for a little bit of a ninja defuse, but that is well done by Som. Wow. Just the movement on him. He was essentially ready for a player to make that wide swing. Nobody else had the information.
But can he turn this around? Early aggression down long. 2-player spotted in Shanks. Flips the switch, and he's looking to end this one early. Just like that, it's a 5v3, and the man has got the Blade Storm.
Huge off the cam, but even then, time is just getting chunked off the clock. No opening frags. Shanks able to get one onto Michael on the back line. Same thing with EU. GMD is going to get overwhelmed. And just like that, NRG, in one of the most dominant games that we've seen thus far in the Challengers, they're going to take down Gen G, and they move on to the semifinals.
Quick, we're going to be starting things out here on Split. And I know before this
and we have a curveball here, folks. We have none other than this Sage actually getting pulled out by NRG.
Yes.
Okay.
That brought out the Bucky to play, though. At least in Infinite's hands. So that could definitely throw a spanner into the works. Or perhaps it's going to be the Sheriff that does the dirty work. But look at this move from Envy. This is such a slow play by them, but I absolutely adore it. They're just going to be walking in through screens, making noise at just the last possible moment they need to. This is where those Buckies can really shine, and you're going to see it reflect in the frags.
Wait a minute!
NRG. They pick up 2 in their favor. Everything has seemingly gone wrong here. Crashies, he has to go ahead and try to piece this round together. The Bucky, not exactly great at that long range, will allow Crashies to pick up another and get that spike down, Gus.
They already spot the man in heaven, so if anything, Crashies just has to wait for the drop, and indeed, there it goes around the corner. Infinite wins it out with only 22 HP. Again, you just gotta laugh. NRG come into this round with an army of Buckies of all things.
Right. And you'll actually have to bring out these strategies that you're trying to incorporate. Already, you're seeing a bit more experimentation as they look to make this into a quick A hit. It's a bit strange, this pacing. They're kind of being stuck inside the smokes here, but that's not going to stop NRG from continuing to take fights and trade each other out. We're into another 4v4 here, although maybe not for long.
Yeah, wonderfully done by Daps. Gonna get 1 kill, gonna stay disciplined, group back with his team for the retake back. But oh my, Som, that's beautiful. Double kill for him. He gets one easily, but the second one with a spray transfer while full blind, he gets it back. Now it's a 2-on-3. This is Envy's tallest task. And Crashies, he's still on the front lines trying to help out. Som still has a third. Who other than Crashies, though, has a couple of flashes, and not only that, but the ulti, the Seekers, they're out to play. Has one on site. Not going to be able to get all that much info, but there you go.
It's more comfortable if they brought in EU to try to help over towards B, maybe set up a paranoia play, or just wall up, get the, that works as well.
Yeah, no info.
I mean, it's free. It's free real estate.
It's free real estate now for Envy here on site with nobody here for NRG. So again, NRG mostly booked around that mid side. When I talk about fast rotates, this is as fast as you can get. They're holding back the line. Still, Crashes, FNS, Food, all getting frags, but still restricted down to the 2-on-2. Crashes around the corner. Does know that there's one back over towards main, but the crossfire is set up for EU. That's massive. And now it's Infinite. Still holding down the angle, and Mame now with an operator down to a 1-on-2. Spike control is fully in the hands of NRG, but Mame taking a little bit more of an alternate route. It could definitely get this initial kill onto Infinite.
What a shot.
But Infinite, it's a wonderful frag, but
you know, got into comfortable post-plant positions. He was able to move up almost free of charge and kind of split alongside his teammates. They're going to be seeing a very quick change of pace in from NRG, but it's not the pace change that they needed. Oh lord, this is such an awkward split already. Yeah, Envy are making it work. Caboose finds another one, Gus. What in the world is happening? NRG, they just can't get anything together as they're down 2 versus 5.
No, Envy, they still have one linchpin in the back, and that was EU. EU's only able to get one though, and FNS with a quick frag back. And speaking of quick, Crashes down at 10 HP.
You know, just feel things out for a while. They're already moving incredibly quick towards B Heaven, and so they're going to be rewarded for their efforts, or so I thought. A beautiful blinding light allows them to pick up one, but it's traded out quickly.
Watch out, Mame on the front lines. Massive taking down Shanks. Looking away at the perfect time for the flash, but he still has to counteract even more. Goes all the way back and stays disciplined. He can now play up with his teammate over towards B as Infinite now has the angle and has to go for the 1v1. Still with 45 seconds left, there's a whole lot of options, but they're getting restricted for Envy as EU takes down FNS. And that's the A side essentially wide open. Whoa. Caboose.
That's preemptive.
Okay, that's very preemptive to say the least. They fully expected a crossover, but instead now, Som actually spots out one over towards stairs. B side is empty. And again, with the position that this player actually had off the teleport, with the position that Caboose actually had control of. I mean, NRG, they would have had such a tough time actually making their way over towards the B site. But instead now, NRG off. Oof.
That won't happen against Som, man.
Dia didn't end up working out in his favor, though. It is going to be NRG now facing up against Envy on their own match point. But Shanks, we saw this at the end of the half. He's trying to do something crazy here with a Blade Storm. It's Blade Storm v Blade Storm now, Ito.
Envy, they still begin their attempt to try to retake this one and extend split even further. Check out what's going on here. Flank is in play, and Naps is here to play. God. There you have it. 2 kills found. That should be the final blow, at least in this round. Envy, they're sent packing back to their own spawn as they look.
Their spawn on the map. It's not bad. They still got the job done, but Envy, they don't exactly have to worry about that. So instead of holding on to the A side a little bit more loosely, they actually have someone on the flank right now as we speak over towards sewers, and everyone from Envy is in mid. And when I say everyone, I mean absolutely everyone. All 5 players in mid, as everyone else for NRG spots their way right out of B main. The pistols from Envy, they're going to have to work their hardest coming into this one. Som has the first contact. EU with a return frag, but FNS still makes it possible. Gets one back over towards the B main area. Infinite still holding. Now it's a 2-on-2. One in heaven, one coming out from main. EU, he spots his target. Not going to be able to get the kill. FNS still takes it back. Infinite now 1v1. That wall's about to break. Food has no idea if his opponent is on the left side or the right side, but he still gets it anyways. What a flick from Food. Envy 13-6 over NRG. Looking at the comps, we do have our boys of NRG actually picking up both the Sage and the Breach on this map. It's very much a curveball. We have never seen Sage for this team on this map either. So a Sage galore here, Ito. As NRG starts things off a little bit slower. They're on a split, but the boys of Envy have already full rotated over towards A, except for one on B, just looking out for info, and it's working out. As Envy, they've gotten full baited.
Oh my lord, what a beautiful bait it is. Camera's taken down, and that is going to begin their movement.
They gotta go though. Look at this fast rotation.
Wait a second. Oh, they're double baiting it here. The spike is actually sitting at the bottom of C still. They have so much map control right now, Gus.
And Ito, the only reason why they're doubling back is because all of that information that the solo player over towards A is getting. Som, he heard everyone running away from the heaven area. Heard everyone running away from A main. And not only that, but he's still holding down the line. NRG, however, because of how around the world this round has been, can't exactly trust in terms of all of their players surviving. Still is a 2-on-4, but oh boy, they might as well just have a chance. They just have the positional advantage, but there's one over towards long. It's Food getting the flank in. Saw him down to low HP. Could be able to get the heal if he had enough time, but it's not going to happen. Envy, they end up winning the round in one of the most confusing ones that we've seen in a while.
Not that teleport play at Pop. I actually do like this, though. They're... Wow, Energy are just immediately pushing in. This is such a disrespect of space. And I feel like this is going to be perfect for Envy, but it doesn't seem to be working out.
I said this yesterday, NRG, they love their W key. They love to run. They love to boot their way on. The pace is high, the momentum is good, and the confidence is still there for the boys of NRG as they clean up this round easy peasy.
Envy, despite them having to kind of spread their defense thin, they are consistently mixing things up just in the early days. And, well, maybe it's only working to certain effects. Mame immediately pops the knives here, looks to take a couple of more fights. NRG pressing W even more.
Now this is big! There you go!
Okay.
One right click, 2 kills! Why not, Mame? He's still going through, trying to find another one, but EU single-handedly bringing this back to a 2v2 again. Hey, you can't really explain anything that happens in these rounds. You just gotta sit back and watch. Envy now, they have at least control of sight. With NRG, they're not really willing. Oh no, they had control, but even then, NRG, they don't exactly want to plan. I was about to say, is NRG still planning a rotation? But no, indeed not. The spike finally goes down, and Infinite takes back Food, and with the revive, Infinite snags up Zeus. So we have NRG back in shambles as they focus up over towards mid with only one back in A main, and that person in A main, he gets exposed.
I think Envy are just...
Jeez.
I mean, they just can take fights. They can afford it at this point. You've already made it to the close qualies. Try to finish things up in style. Both teams have this same sort of mindset. It just seems overwhelmingly beautiful for Envy. I almost wanted to see the TK Hunter's Fury there, I'm not going to lie, but... Dude, there's barely any time that passes in these rounds, and we find ourselves in 1-on-X's.
They're still fighting this.
Of course they're going to still fight it, man. Everyone wants a bit of a highlight play here or there. Can you deny them that, man?
Especially with the off character picks that we're seeing once again from NRG. Because again, with the Sage, things change a whole lot more. Daps is trying to get certainly used to that entire dynamic. And in this round, he actually wants to utilize the slow orb over towards snipers, but he gets exposed early for it. It's a prime example of it, but oh my. Envy, they cleanly take the B site, but NRG off the rotation back and off of the lurker. Well, this one just starts to get a little bit muddy. It's a 2v3 now, with all 2 in the back of sight, still waiting out for players to peek. Mame with a good angle, but Shanks with a stellar kill, actually. Food now 1v2. Has to spot out a couple of people. Crossing! And Shanks has to get it in the end.
They've just been in control. They're going to force this up. I have absolutely zero questions or doubts that they're going to just immediately run it towards A. NRG have to respect this space, and with the Phantoms in hand, you're going to hope to see maybe a highlight play or 2. There it is, Shanks! Doubling your kills in 1 round. And you hate to see it if you're an Envy fan, but you also have to love it if you're a big NRG stan too. Wow.
Actually, Ito, they're going to go completely against that. They're still going to stick up to the pistols once again. They're trying to stay as economically sound as possible. And look, oh my! Rush mid from Shanks! What on earth? He was the one that gets the 3 kills! You talk about a 20-second ending! You talk about a 5-second, really just a stop flash for a second there, just like a 5-second pose.
That was such good pressure though, because as soon as he was tagged out by the drone, what? FNS has the gall to peek that. Unreal, and they're going for it again. Don't do that. That is so BM. Oh, that is such a... Okay, well, we found our sweet play, everybody.
Something of the sort. Som just keeps peeking out again and again. The post plants are relatively formal, but still with a flash out. Crashies is holding down to sight. Same thing with food, but they get traded out. I mean, surely NRG, with the amount of curveball that they're throwing at the face of Envy, you're still going to see Envy just trying to maintain their own pace. They want to keep playing at what would be their more, I guess you could say, methodical type of play style, as they have been doing for the past couple of days. But even then, with NRG just invading these back choke points, they are never safe. Envy tries to fight long, there's a player watching over. They try to fight short, well, they end up getting picked down. So Envy now at this point down already to just 4 men.
Oh no, Niyu's pushing out already. He's going on an adventure. He doesn't find any buried treasures. No way. It's gonna get punished though. They TP'd into heaven because they got a little bit of space for free. This might be a spike plant, but I don't think it goes any further. And
no, absolutely not.
Niyu's already behind. There's that adventure. And NRG, well, I think they're gonna be in for one more nasty surprise. They are just everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. NRG maybe getting a bit too scary there. That only makes things a bit more scary for Envy because they still didn't piece that round together. And NRG, in fact, have 3 players left alive. Be a quick B execute here, so Envy just immediately want to play post plan. So still, it's a quicker pace change. This time it seems a bit more favorable for them.
At least the rest of Envy just grouping up over towards mid. And again, good molly, but it's up to half. Like you mentioned, Shank's in a great position. Still going to be Som forcing out the situation, but Crashies with a double shot dart again. Oh, yes, Mummy! There you go, off the flank. Going to be able to take down one. Still has to take down the last 2. Takes down EU, and there's just enough time. Oh, NRG dodging a massive bullet. Again, NRG, Haven is one of their best maps, and they weren't exactly showing it early on. But now this is their opportunity. They get to shut it down. They get to get the momentum running. And Envy, they're still on the back lines. They're going to have to face on a full retake of the C site. Look at that rotation from NRG. What info do they have? What info does NRG actually have to make this rotation? This is massive, and this is about to be an absolute war on site. Out goes Infinite. They're running back around the corner. Going to be able to take that one. Still the spray down. Still with a second. Shanks dashing in with the knives. Still able to take down another one. Still the interactions have to come down along, and Mame has no chance. NRG, he full rotated over towards the C sites, and Envy totally caught off
from multiple different POVs. It's a joy to watch, but at the same time, I have so many questions for what Envy's big plans are. Are they looking to innovate still? Are NRG seriously going to snatch this one away, or are Envy going to try to bring it to OT? Because they've kept this 4v4 on mine.
Shanks somehow still alive. He delays so much time for Caboose. Caboose had full idea that he was there, but now NRG, they get picked apart. As again, they make a little bit of a more scattered rotation, but Envy having full control of at least that backdrop. I mean, that's just NRG doing their thing, right? Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time here on the mainstream this entire weekend, we have overtime between Envy and NRG here on Haven. It's well earned by both teams.
Comfortable place heading into potentially the last round. Mame hairs off of being able to secure that frag. You're probably going to see that same position of what he's done before. If he even needs to step up, what has gone wrong? Envy, the crossfires are so overwhelming. 4 kills, 5 kills in just a couple of seconds.
Envy, they still have the nail in the coffin, which is essentially NRG just holding W on. That entire situation just benefited this team. But now, this C set is a little bit more loose, and Envy, they're still banging it out. EU has to run away, but this side is theirs. Envy with a man disadvantage is going to be able to get the plant down, but this one could start to get a little bit scrappy with a couple of players scattered.
Well, they know that Crashies is still sitting over towards A. NRG, they definitely want to move this one up, go as quickly as possible, because they know that Crashies is AWOL. Finally, he'll arrive over towards long, but look at the pressure on the spike right now. Oh, it doesn't get halfway, though. That means there's still a chance here up mine. Great shot from Mame. Smoke on the spike as well, but there's nobody touching it. Daps. Now he has to go ahead and stick the spike, get it to about halfway. not even going to be able to get this res off. Is double OT going to happen? It isn't! Crashies will finish things off for Envy. It's a 2-0 finish, and Envy, despite a little bit of a choke in that second half, will close things out cleanly. Up mind. That was one of the most interesting games that I think I have ever seen.